Hey guys, even here with the old school abs, and we have Blessing Awodibu and his, well, let's call it pro debut. Blessing Awodibu was supposed to compete at the Iron Classic Australia as his first pro show ever, but didn't happen of course due to coronavirus. But boy did he look good, he looked amazing. Honestly, I had him in my top 3, top 6 call-outs actually. I mean, he does have a lot of flaws, but he's a freak, he's a beast, and I wouldn't do this video if I didn't think he has the potential to be one of the top guys. You know, potentially even the Mr. Olympia in the coming, I don't know, 10 years or something, because he's a young guy. He's a young guy. When all these guys retire, like Dexter, Sean Roden, who probably already has, Phil Heath, who also probably has, Brandon Curry, William Bonac, these guys are a bit older than him. When everybody retires, he's gonna be the new blood. He's gonna be one of the new guys. Him, Patrick Moore, Steve Kuklo, Josh Lenartowicz, and so on. Those guys are gonna make that top 6 at the Mr. Olympia, and I think this guy has a potential to be at the top of the bunch. So we're gonna analyze his physique right here, and we're gonna see what he has, what he needs to improve, because Steve Weinberger, he was supposed to check him out and give him his opinion on his physique, really to tell him what he looks like, what he needs to improve, how would he do if this was a pro debut, how would he do against the other guys, you know, where he stands, where he is as a bodybuilder, since he didn't compete, and he prepped and he looked really good. What is his take? But you need to watch the video if you want to see Steve's reaction. Honestly, I would rather say the lack of reaction. He didn't really react much or analyze his physique much. He really liked his back lat spread, and he had a remark about his legs, but I mean, that's really about it. He didn't really give him much as these guys were hoping for. I don't know why, but Steve just didn't want to say much. So if you want to see his reaction, or again, the lack of, go and watch the full video. But in this video, you're gonna hear my analysis, my reaction. No, I'm not an IBB Pro judge or a head judge or anything close to that. I'm just a guy who's a fan of bodybuilding. What is different from Steve Weinberger, I'm gonna give you a deep analysis. And I've been doing this for over a year, so, you know, I learned a lot. And by the way, guys, if you wanna be a bodybuilding analyst, just start. You're gonna be much better in a year. I was much worse a year ago, now I understand much more. Of course, I'm still a newbie, basically. You know, who knows how much will I know in 10 years from now. But I have my opinions, and some people agree with me, some people disagree. It's okay, whatever you think, tell me down below in the comment section. So let's begin. Let's begin with this front relaxed pose right here. And let's see, what do we have? Well, we have those weak legs. You can see it right here. I mean, his legs are insanely big, that's for sure. But I think his legs are a little bit longer than his torso, you know, ratio-wise. He has long legs, which is great, which is amazing if you can bring up the legs to be the size that they need to be. From the sides, his legs are looking great, very big, very full, but from the front, you can see a lot of is missing. That outer sweep, that lateral head is not quite there. So I would like to see more sweep, so that lateral head, vastus lateralis, should be bigger. Vastus medialis is good, but vastus intermedialis, that mid part of the leg, could also be a little bit bigger. The abductors are fine, so legs, I would just have to say that they could be just a bit bigger, I mean overall. And he has a vacuum, but I don't know, maybe he would look better without that vacuum. It's impressive, I mean, he's showing an amazing abdominal control, which is something that the judges do want to see today in bodybuilding, because bubble guts really took over the bodybuilding and they kind of ruined the name of bodybuilding, you know? They put a stain on it. Everybody hated bodybuilding for that for a long time, so now, in order to fix that, the judges are awarding guys who can show abdominal control. And how you control it? By doing the vacuum, by, you know, working that muscle that pulls the stomach in. So that's a good thing, but it doesn't look the best in this pose. I don't really like his vacuum that much. And as far as his lats, he has big lats, thick lats, but they are not popping much. Maybe he can fix the pose. His chest is really huge, really big chest. His arms are amazing. And obviously he is not exactly competition ready right here. He would have, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 weeks to get completely lean. So we move on to the next pose, and this is just another quarter turn. And this is a good one for him. This is a really good one for him. I really love this one. So here you can see exactly what I was telling you about his legs. From the side, it doesn't look bad at all. Those quads are looking insanely large. The glutes are actually showing some separation. The hamstrings could be bigger, but, you know, he's just in that kind of angle. He's showing his quads more than his hamstrings, but it looks great overall, this pose. His waist is super tiny from the side, and you can see very developed abs, which is something you don't see very often. He has really thick abs without a bubble gut, yeah. Chest is looking full and big, the upper chest is there, the separation is there. Arms, he has some really good arms. Traps are thick, no neck, but that's fine in open bodybuilding. He's a freak after all. Really good, really complete pose. I love this one, this quarter turn. And he's young, that's what I'm saying. He can be the best bodybuilder in the world because he is a freak. And now we come to the back relaxed pose, not the back lat spread. And here you can see that his glutes are not dialed in, he's not ready for the show. And I don't think he was much sharper at his amateur show where he became the pro qualifier. So compared to those guys, he just had the completeness, the freak factor, the size, and the conditioning wasn't the most important thing in that lineup. But in the pro ranks, everybody has the size, everybody is full and complete. It's the conditioning that sets you apart. It's not the number one thing, but it is very important. It's probably the most important thing actually. If you are complete and everything, the one who is the most conditioned is going to win, who is the most ready. So if he wants to be really good in a pro, he needs to bring that conditioning. He has the size, he has the completeness. So yeah, he has like, I don't know, at least 4 weeks, I would guess, a wild guess, before he gets really dry. Depends on how hard he diets. So in this pose, let's focus on the muscle, as you can see. So it's not a show, of course, but it is a kind of a pro debut. He probably took it easy because he knew he's not going to compete. So he got a little bit more fluffy, but it looks good. It looks good enough so we can analyze it. Again, another really good pose for him. He has really thick traps. Look at those traps. Wow. Look at the mid lats. Really thick lats. Arms, amazing. Rear delts also. Very complete back. Glutes are thick. Again, his quads, his legs, his hamstrings also. They do need to grow. That's my biggest knock on his physique. He needs to grow his legs even more. Yeah, it's insane, but he does. And look at it when he transitioned. So this is a really good Christmas tree. If he gets shredded, it's going to be amazing. And before he actually does this back relaxed pose, he has this part of the transition, and he maybe looks even better in this kind of variation, I guess you can call it. But it's not conventional. And the judges aren't exactly fond of people who do the poses differently. You know, they prefer the conventional ways. Unless you look really bad in the conventional way of hitting a pose, I guess you can do it, differently. But in this pose, I mean, he looks maybe a little bit better if he leans forwards like this. Maybe it looks a little bit better. Maybe he shows more detail, more separation, and those lats are popping a little bit more. But it's not conventional, it doesn't look really natural, so the way he did it before, it's definitely what he should stick with, but I just wanted to show you guys, because here he shows some really good separation and it looks really impressive. It also depends on the lighting. Maybe the lighting is going to be different at a show than it is in this gym. Another great pose, I mean, we already seen it, it's just a different angle. He really shows an amazing abdominal development, a really tiny waist. The quads are looking insanely large from the side. The arms are looking vascular. The forearms are big. The upper chest is amazing. Really complete pose. I love it. I'm telling you right now, if everything goes well, this guy is going to be in the top in the future. Him, Hassan Mustafa also. Just another newcomer who came to mind. He is also a really big guy, a beast. And judges do like to see aesthetics. A small waist is definitely necessary. And Blessing has it, but what everybody wants to see is freaks. That's open bodybuilding. You have nice lines, classical look. In classic physique, if you want to see freaks, you go in open bodybuilding. And this guy is a definition of freak bodybuilding. So we'll see how he looks in a couple of years. But as for now, at his virtual pro debut, I guess we can call it, he looks amazing. Front double bicep, it looks good, especially the upper body. I mean, again, he's doing the vacuum. I think it would look better without the vacuum, but maybe not. Maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe he's just not showing, maybe he's not only showing the abdominal control. Maybe he looks better with the vacuum. I don't know. I would like to see him without it. So, I mean, this whole posing, he was pretty insecure. He wasn't exactly sure how he would like to hit a pose. I mean, I understand when you're practicing it, but when you're doing a show or something like this, for a head judge, just choose the way you want to hit the poses and don't move. Don't flex too hard and shake. Don't try to move your body to get the best lighting. I mean, I understand it all, and it's kind of stupid me giving him advice, and he's a pro and I'm an amateur. But I mean, I'm sure most of you will agree with me. So here you can see the front double bicep, amazing arms, amazing biceps, good chest, thick chest, lats are popping, small waist, amazing pose overall. I would just like to see thicker legs, definitely bigger quads, and also hamstrings, but you cannot really see it in this pose, but definitely bigger legs overall, and maybe without a vacuum, but we'll see. I mean, this kind of looks like there is a big gap in his physique with this vacuum. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I would like to see it without a vacuum. Maybe it's not better, but maybe it is. Anyways, overall, really good pose for him. Let's go with the next one. I'm sure he would also look amazing compared to the other guys because he has the size. He's a big guy. So I would like to see him compared, but based on this right here, look at how muscular this guy is, how much muscle he packs. He has a lot of muscle maturity too. He just needs to get, conditioned, like peeled to the bone. Look at this. Look at this transition. Look at the chest. Look at the chest, the thickness of that chest, the vascularity of it. This is Branch Warren type of chest. And the abs are really thick as well. Lat spread, I didn't really like it that much. He was also pretty insecure when he was hitting this pose. He was moving a lot, his arms. He was bending forward and backwards. He was moving his head too much, so not very secure in this pose. And it doesn't look exactly perfect. I mean, this guy is very arm dominant, so it's kind of hard for him to show the lats. But if he could somehow manage to do it, maybe pull his elbows backwards a little and just show his lats, because he doesn't need to push the elbows forward. He already has arms big enough. I would like to see more lats in this pose, but again, he's very big, very complete, so it looks really good. Let's go now with the side poses. We're gonna have side chest first. Really good pose for him. Again, he does it kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger style. He puts his left arm close to his chest and he brings his chest up. He lifts his head up, chin up, and he stands tall. So that's kind of a different from what modern bodybuilding is known for. Modern bodybuilding side chest kind of became a variation of most muscular. So the guys usually twist more. They don't really do it from the side like this. They twist more, and it's kind of something between side and front, chest and bicep, and a kind of a most muscular pose. This is the classic, the old school way of hitting the side chest pose. You don't show your width as much, but you do show the arm size and the chest thickness if you have it. And this guy has really big arms and really big chest, so he can afford to do this pose this way. Again, legs, the quads from the side, they're looking thick as hell. Hamstrings need work. Hamstrings need to get bigger, that's for sure. It's really obvious right now. But overall, really good pose. I mean, for somebody who never really did a pro show before, wow, what can I say? I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy is going to be the top 6 at the Mr. Olympia in the future, the next 5, 6, 10 years, maybe like, the latest, but probably sooner, of course. But that just goes if everything goes perfect, if he doesn't get injured or anything like that. But let's be optimistic, let's not think about the worst possible outcomes. I'm sure everything will be great, and we'll see him in the top at the Mr. Olympia. Back lat spread, possibly his best pose. Just look at the thickness of that back. Look at the traps, the lower lats, the mid lats more so, the overall size. This guy is just huge. He's really big. I don't know what is the thing, how he got so big, but he got the genetics. He definitely has the genetics. I mean, I'm sure there is a lot of other stuff included, but he does have a lot of potential to be one of the next freaks. Imagine him in 10 years. Can he surpass Ronnie Coleman when it comes to size? I mean, this is really a bold statement, and I'm sure many of you just exited the video and disliked it when I said that. But can he be the next king? I mean, this is really big, but look at it. He has the muscle maturity. He is not the next big Ramy for sure. He does have the deep separation. He just needs to get lean and a little bit bigger, over the years, especially his legs. And he can be one of the next freaks. Of course, he doesn't have the genetics like Ronnie. He doesn't have the shape. He doesn't have that kind of a small waist. And that's what makes pretty much every Mr. Olympia. I mean, all of them really had small waists when they became Mr. Olympias. Of course, later on, their waists get bigger with age. I guess Jay Cutler is kind of an exception. He does have a little bit wider waist. At least that's what the most people would say. Honestly, unpopular opinion, I think Jay actually had pretty small waist. Yeah. I know many of you will say, who? Jay, the fridge? No, I think his waist was pretty small compared to his shoulder size, especially early on in his career. And blessing has that he doesn't have exactly the shape like Ronnie, but we'll see how will it look in a couple of years. Ronnie wasn't as impressive, in 1997 as he was in 1998. So 1 year can make a big difference. I don't know what the hell Ronnie did in that 1 year, but maybe it's something that Blessing isn't doing right now, so we'll see, but he definitely has the potential to be one of the biggest freaks in the upcoming years. I'm just really curious to see him peeled to the bone, shredded. He never was shredded before. Would he be shredded for the Australia? Maybe, but it's not shredded what we see right now, no. Side tricep, wow, one of the best poses of him also. Maybe I would choose this one as his best pose. When you're looking at this pose, you would never say that his lower body is a problem. It looks really big, really thick. Yeah, the hamstrings are not there, but he's not really showing his hamstrings in this pose. With his leg backwards like that, the left one, the one that is behind, you cannot really show your hamstrings too much. But again, I mean, you can see it. The judges will see that his hamstrings need work, although his quads from the side are looking amazing. The arms, again, one of his most dominant body parts. The forearms, also really impressive. Abs are looking amazing. The chest is there. The shoulders are there. Just overall, very complete pose. A lot of thickness, a lot of mass. Let's just hope he gets peeled and he destroys the lineup in the pro ranks. I'm sure he can crack the top 5, top 6 if he gets really lean. Abs and thighs, you can see right here, his abs are really developed. His arms are big, his lats are popping pretty decently. The problem is his quads, his legs, not big enough. So definitely something he should work on. Overall, pretty good, just bring the legs up. It's not really so much about the size. Those legs are definitely big, but they're structured that way that they need to be insanely large for them to look super impressive. Steve Weinberger was definitely right when he said that. He definitely does need to bring his legs up. Most muscular, once again, very dominant pose for him because he is really muscular. I prefer this pose over the previous one. So hands clasped, and now we have hands on the hips. I like hands on the hips. I mean, this is a pose that only few people can do properly. You need to have a lot of mass to do this one. You need to have really big legs, small waist, and big arms, and he does have all of that. I mean, he has big legs. His legs are not small. I mean, just look at those legs. They're really big, but in order for them to look complete, they need to look like Big Ramy's legs, something like that. Because his femoral bone is obviously very long, compared to the rest of his body, proportion-wise. Even without improving his legs, this pose looks really good, but I would like to see some, maybe like 2 inches added to his quads. I mean, overall legs, the hamstrings as well. Another version, the crab pose, also looks pretty decent. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I mean, you saw it. You can watch the original video, see what Steve had to say. He didn't really say much. I said much more than him. And if you agree with what I said, I mean, I said a lot of things. I'm sure you cannot agree with all of it. But if you have a strong opinion about anything I said, please tell me. Let me know down below in the comment section. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, like it. If you want to see more bodybuilding videos like this, subscribe to this channel. All the best, guys, and don't forget to keep it old school.